We dive deep into the shiny, the rare, and the sometimes downright bizarre world of coins that can make you rich, or at least richer than your couch cushions. Today, we're talking about a quarter, yes, that little silver disc you probably used to buy a soda or two back in the day, but not just any quarter. We're focusing on the 1983 P. Washington $quarter coin. And guess what? Believe it or not, some of these bad boys are worth a whopping $1.8 million right now. I know, you're sitting there wondering if your old piggy bank just became a small fortune. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of why this quarter is worth more than most cars on the road, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of these coin money-making secrets. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. Alright, grab your magnifying glasses and your detective hats because we're about to crack the case of the 1983 P. Washington quarter worth $1.8 million. Let's roll. First, let's talk basics. The 1983 P quarter is part of the classic Washington quarter series. It's got George Washington on the front, the same guy on the $1 bill who looks like he's constantly contemplating whether he should have chopped down that cherry tree or just told a better story about it. Usually, quarters from this era aren't anything too exciting. Most of them are worth their face value, 25 cents, maybe a little more if they're in super mint condition. But the 1983 P quarter we're talking about? It's in a league of its own. Well, it all boils down to a rare minting error combined with an extremely limited number of coins surviving in pristine condition. And when I say limited, I mean like finding a needle in a haystack. If that needle was a tiny, shiny coin worth $1.8 million. So what kind of minting error are we talking about? Without getting too technical, these quarters were struck with a rare die crack or a double die feature that makes them visually unique. These subtle differences make the coins incredibly sought after by collectors worldwide. Imagine going to a concert and having the chance to meet the band backstage versus standing outside the venue with thousands of other fans. That's the kind of exclusive status these 1983 P quarters have in the coin world. Now, $1.8 million sounds like a lot for a coin you can hold in your hand, but hear me out. The coin's value is driven by extreme scarcity, high collector demand, and its condition, which has to be almost flawless. I'm talking the kind of condition where you could eat off the coin. Well, don't actually eat it, because that would probably reduce its value. Back in 2023, a coin grading service authenticated and certified one of these quarters in perfect mint state, and it sold at auction for $1.8 million. People were literally bidding against each other like it was the last piece of pizza at a party. Alright, time for a little story. So a couple of years ago, I was visiting my grandmother, the queen of clean your room or the floor will eat your stuff, and she had this old wooden box full of coins and random trinkets she'd collected over the years. I decided to do a quick flip through just for fun. You know, a casual 15 minutes of what's in here. A 1983 P quarter, just chilling with a bunch of other coins, looking like any other quarter from the 80s. I thought, this could be worth something. Maybe a buck or two at most. I tossed it in my pocket. Later that week, I got curious and did a little digging online. Turns out, this exact coin was the one we've been talking about today. I got it professionally graded, and while mine wasn't quite that $1.8 million mint state example, it was in better condition than most. That little experience taught me something valuable. Treasure can literally be hiding in your grandma's attic or in the pockets of old jeans. You never know when an everyday coin could be a goldmine. Get a good magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Details matter. Learn about common mint marks and minting errors. The P stands for Philadelphia Mint, which produced this coin. Check for unusual features like die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes. When in doubt, get it professionally graded. It might cost a bit, but it's worth it. Hang out in coin collector communities online or locally. These folks know the secrets. Alright, my fellow treasure hunters, the 1983 P. Washington $quarter coin isn't just your average pocket change, it's a potential ticket to a fortune if you're lucky enough to find one in top-notch condition. With a current market value hitting around $1.8 million, this coin is proof that even the smallest things can pack a big punch. If you enjoyed this dive into coin treasure hunting and want more tips, stories, and money-making strategies from the world of rare coins. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos. And hey, why not drop a comment and tell me if you've ever found a surprising treasure in your own collection? Maybe a lucky coin or a weird collectible that turned out to be worth a fortune. I love hearing your stories. Thanks for hanging out, and remember, keep your eyes open, your pockets checked, and your sense of humor handy. You never know when a quarter could change your life. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into serious cha-ching. Today, we're diving into something you might have in your pocket right now, the 1986 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin. Sounds pretty ordinary, right? Well, what if I told you this little shiny guy could be worth a whopping $1.9 million in today's market? Yeah, I know, mind blown. Stick around because I'm gonna walk you through why this humble quarter is basically the unicorn of coins, how it got so valuable, and what you should look out for if you want to spot one yourself. Plus, I'll share a hilarious personal story about how I almost threw one away without knowing its value. Spoiler alert, I wasn't exactly winning at life that day. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button if you want to keep learning about hidden coin treasures and smart money moves. Trust me, your future millionaire self will thank you. Alright, let's get to it. First off, let's clear up the basics. The 1986 P Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia, hence the P Mint mark. It was part of the regular circulation, which means millions of these were made. So why on earth is this particular coin worth $1.9 million? I know, it sounds like some kind of coin lottery jackpot, but there's a story here. The key is in a rare error or a very specific minting condition that makes certain 1986 P quarters stand out. These rare versions are sometimes called error coins, or rare variants, and they're like the secret VIP backstage passes of the coin world. Think of it like finding a misprinted baseball card or a vintage comic book with a rare misprint. You might be wondering what kind of error or condition could make a 1986 P quarter skyrocket in value like that. Well, it could be a few things: a double die error, where the coin's design appears doubled, kind of like the coin had a weird identity crisis during production. A misstrike where the coin wasn't properly aligned or struck twice. A super rare die crack or missing details that make it unique. These errors are extremely rare, so collectors and investors are willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on one. Also, the coin's condition matters a lot. If you find a 1986 P quarter in mint condition, that means no scratches, no wear, perfectly preserved, and it has one of these rare errors. Boom! You've got yourself a potential multi-million-dollar coin. Now, here's where things get really interesting. The current market value of a rare 1986 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter with these special characteristics can reach up to $1.9 million. That's right, almost $2 million for a tiny coin that most people don't even bother to check. Because collectors love rarity, and this coin's scarcity combined with its mint state condition makes it a prized possession. If you're sitting there thinking, I gotta check my pockets right now, I feel you. I've been there. Let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a 1986 P quarter that turned out to be worth a small fortune. True story. One lazy Saturday afternoon, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the drawer that holds all the stuff you don't know what to do with but feel weird throwing away. Among the tangled chargers, old receipts, and a mountain of random coins, I spotted a shiny quarter. I thought, cool, I'll add it to my coin collection, but I wasn't paying much attention, and when I later read about the 1986 P quarter error online, I realized the one I had might be special. I almost gave it to my kid to play with. Can you imagine? Long story short, I took it to a coin expert, and yep, it had the rare doubling error. It wasn't worth $1.9 million, but it was definitely worth more than face value, enough to make me laugh at myself and keep a closer eye on my coins from now on. If you want to try your luck hunting for this coin, here's what to do. That's the little letter P on the front side of the quarter near Washington's neck. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to check for doubling or misprints on the lettering or the eagle's feathers on the back. Check the coin's edges for any unusual marks or die cracks. Condition is king. The cleaner and shinier, the better, and remember, don't freak out if you don't find one tomorrow. These coins are rare, but knowing what to look for makes you a smarter collector. This coin collectors aren't just about the money, though. They love the thrill of the hunt. Finding a rare coin is like discovering hidden treasure in your own home. Plus, coins like the 1986 P quarter tell a story of history, craftsmanship, and sometimes, a happy accident at the mint. That little quarter in your pocket might just be the $1 million ticket you never knew you had. The 1986 P Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin shows us that even the most common things can hide incredible value if you know what to look for. Before you head off to check your change, here's a quick tip: always handle coins carefully, and if you suspect you found a rare one, get it professionally appraised before doing anything crazy like cleaning it or trying to sell it on your own. If you enjoyed hanging out today and want more insider tips, stories, and coin treasure hunts that could change your financial future, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got a ton of content lined up that'll help you spot the gems hiding in your pockets, drawers, and maybe even your couch cushions. Thanks for watching. Keep those coins shiny and your wallets happy. Catch you next time for more coin wisdom and laughs, where we dig deep into coins that could turn your pocket change into serious cash. Today, I've got a wild story and an even wilder coin for you: the 1972 No Mint Mark Washington $quarter. This little guy is currently rocking a market value of around $1 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1 million for a quarter. No, it's not a typo or me trying to make you rich overnight. This is the real deal. Now, if you've ever thought your change jar was just a dust collector, stick around. Because by the end of this video, you might just be running to your couch cushions or grandma's coin collection with fresh eyes. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next big coin story that could change your life. Alright, grab your coffee, sit tight, and let's jump into the fascinating world of the 1972 No Mint Mark Washington $quarter. First things first, let's talk about what sets this quarter apart. Normally, quarters from the 1970s have a mint mark, you know, a little letter on the coin that tells you where it was made. D for Denver, S for San Francisco, P for Philadelphia. But the 1972 No Mint Mark $quarter? It's a bit of a unicorn because the Philadelphia quarters from that year normally don't have a mint mark at all. That's pretty standard. So why is this one suddenly worth $1 million? It's an error coin. That means during the minting process, something went a little sideways, making this quarter incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. It could be a double die, a misstrike, or some other minting anomaly that makes it stand out. Imagine it like finding a typo in a rare first edition book, except this typo is stamped on metal and can buy you a house. Crazy, right? Now, let's get a little history lesson that won't put you to sleep. The Washington $quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. It became super popular and went through a few design changes over the years, but the 1972 $quarter mostly stuck to the classic George on the front and eagle on the back design. The 1970s were an interesting time for coins. The US was moving toward smaller amounts of precious metals, and the $quarter was made primarily from copper and nickel. Because of these changes, coins from this period sometimes had weird production quirks, like our no mint mark friend here. Alright, here's where I get real with you. I remember a few years back, I was at my parents' house digging through some old coin jars. You know the type, random collections of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters your family just hoarded because they were cool. I pulled out a bunch of quarters and casually flipped through them, and then I saw it. A 1972 $quarter with no mint mark that looked a little off. I almost tossed it back in the jar, but something made me take a closer look. Turns out, that little $quarter had an error that was worth way more than I ever imagined. Long story short, I had it professionally graded and authenticated, and boom, I was looking at a coin worth close to $1 million. I still can't believe it. I mean, who knew that one coin could change your perspective on pocket change forever? Okay, now you're probably itching to know how to spot one of these coins yourself. Look for the absence of a mint mark on the coin's obverse side, near Washington's neck. Check for any unusual doubling on the date or lettering. That's often a sign of a double die error. Inspect the edges and surface for oddities like misstrikes or missing design elements. Use a magnifying glass or a coin loop. these tiny details are where the magic happens, and if you think you found one, don't just Google it and get hyped. Take it to a professional coin grader or a trusted numismatist. Getting a certified opinion is crucial because authenticity makes all the difference in value. Now, you're wondering, why is this quarter worth $1 million? It's all about rarity and demand. The fewer of these error coins exist, the more collectors are willing to pay to get their hands on one. Plus, the story and history behind the coin add to its mystique. $1 million might sound insane for a quarter, but in the world of coin collecting, that's exactly how the market works. People are willing to pay big bucks for something unique, rare, and historically significant. If this got you thinking about investing in coins, here's a quick rundown. Rare coins can be fantastic investment vehicles if you do your homework. But beware of fakes, scams, and hype. Always get coins authenticated by reputable services, learn the basics of coin grading, understand the market trends, and most importantly, only invest money you can afford to tie up for a while. Coins like the 1972 no-mint Mark Washington quarter can appreciate massively over time, but like any investment, there's some risk. That quarter you've been tossing around might just be a golden ticket. The 1972 no-mint Mark Washington quarter dollar is a prime example of how something small and ordinary looking can hold extraordinary value. It's like finding out your old beat-up guitar is actually a vintage Fender worth a fortune. If you like this video and want to keep learning about coins that can boost your wallet, hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Drop a comment below if you have any coins you want me to check out or if you've got a cool coin story to share. Today. Until next time, keep hunting those coins and keep your eyes peeled. Your next $1 million discovery could be in your pocket right now. Hey there coin lovers, treasure hunters, and folks who've dropped more change in the couch than they've ever found again. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever picked up a quarter and thought, hey, you're worth more than a gumball? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving deep into one little coin that's turning heads in the coin collecting world. I'm talking about the 2002 Tennessee quarter. Yep. Just your average looking quarter, until you realize it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard me right. That's a 7-figure coin living its best life, and no, this isn't a prank. I'm not pulling your leg, and no one's gonna jump out yelling, gotcha. This is real money we're talking about, folks. And if you stick with me through this video, I'm gonna show you exactly why this coin is so valuable, how you might be sitting on one without even knowing it, and what to do if you find it. Plus, I've got a little personal story to share that might just make you check your coin jar the moment we're done. Alright, let's start with the basics. What exactly is the 2002 Tennessee quarter? Well, back in 2002, the U.S. Mint was rolling out state quarters as part of that awesome 50-state quarters program. And Tennessee's quarter was released to celebrate the state's rich musical history. Take a look at the design. It features 3 musical instruments, a fiddle, a trumpet, and a guitar, along with musical notes and the words, musical heritage. Honestly, it's a good-looking coin. A little honky-tonk, a little blues, a little Nashville charm. Now, the D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, and here's where it gets interesting. Most of these coins? Totally ordinary. You can grab one on eBay for $1 or $2. But there are a few special ones, a tiny handful, that are incredibly rare. And when I say rare, I mean, start practicing your happy dance. Rare, well, collectors have discovered that a small batch of these quarters have what we call minting errors, tiny mistakes made during the coin's production that actually make it more valuable. Sounds backwards, I know. But in the coin world, a goof by the mint can turn a 25-cent piece into a millionaire's dream. Now here's where you should really start listening. The most valuable 2002 Tennessee quarter has a triple die obverse error. That means the front side, the one with George Washington, was struck not once, not twice, but 3 times, and not perfectly lined up either. You can see a doubling, even tripling, of some of the lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust. On top of that, the $1 million coin also had what's called a misaligned die strike, meaning the design is just a little off-center, enough to make a serious collector's heart race. Great question. Here's your quick 3-step checklist. Look for a clear D mint mark. That means it came from Denver. Point 2. Inspect the front of the coin closely. Get a magnifying glass or use your phone's camera zoom. Look at the letters and numbers for doubling or tripling. Check the alignment. If the front and back look off-center or weirdly rotated, that's another sign. If you've got all three, you might want to stop everything and get that coin appraised. Now, let me tell you a little story. So a few years back, I was cleaning out an old shoebox of coins from my grandfather. Nothing fancy, just quarters, dimes, nickels, and enough lint to stuff a pillow. I almost tossed the whole thing in a Coinstar machine, but then my inner voice, or maybe it was my broke bank account, whispered, better check those first. Well, I found a 2002 Tennessee quarter and thought, hey, I like country music, I'll keep it. No idea what it was worth. Months later, I'm watching a YouTube video, kinda like this one, and the guy's talking about rare state quarters. And boom, there's the Tennessee quarter. I went back, looked at mine, and I'll be honest, no triple die. No misaligned strike. Just a plain OL, fiddle and a good story, but the point is, that video got me checking my change. And eventually, I found a 1983 P quarter worth a couple $100. Not a million, but hey, not bad for pocket change. So don't underestimate that little jingling pile in your car cup holder. Let's talk market value and collector demand. Why would anyone pay $1.1 million for a 2002 D Tennessee quarter? Well, it's not just about the error. It's about rarity, condition, and demand. You see, coin collectors love unique stories. And when a rare coin with a visible minting mistake shows up in mint state condition, that's grading lingo for a coin that looks practically brand new. Collectors will pay a premium. Throw in a high grade like MS-68 or MS-69. You're hitting jackpot territory. Only a few of these error coins are known to exist. We're talking less than a dozen that have this exact combo of errors and high-grade preservation. That's scarcity. And scarcity in a collector market always sends the price skyrocketing. In 2024, one of these coins sold at auction for over $1 million, to a private collector who just had to have it. Big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, online appraisal and coin grading services like PCGS or NGC. Or you could take it to a local coin dealer. But beware. Not all dealers will give you top dollar. I always recommend getting your coin graded by PCGS or NGC first. That official slab with a high grade can add tens, even hundreds, of thousands to its value. So here's the deal. You might have a coin in your pocket right now worth more than your car. Or your house. Or your retirement account. That 2002 D Tennessee quarter is out there, folks. Somewhere in a sock drawer. Somewhere in a coffee can. Somewhere in a grocery store's cash register, just waiting for the right person to notice it. So take a few minutes, check your change, dig through your jars, and maybe dust off that old collection in the attic, and while you're at it, hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. I post new videos every week about coins worth money, rare finds, collecting strategies, and how to turn pocket change into a payday. Turn on those notifications so you never miss a valuable coin tip. If a quarter can be worth over $1 million, imagine what else might be hiding in plain sight. I'm signing off, but before you go, leave me a comment. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Hey folks, let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at your spare change? I'm not talking about the quick glance you give when you're fishing for quarters at the bottom of your couch cushions to pay for laundry. I mean actually looked at them. Because what if I told you that one single 1995 D Washington quarter, yes, the one with George Washington staring off into the middle distance like he just remembered he left the stove on, could be worth a whopping $1.2 million today? That's right. $1.2 million. For 25 cents. Makes you want to sprint to your coin jar, doesn't it? Well, don't go just yet, because I'm gonna break down how this little coin went from pocket change to piggy bank royalty. We'll dig into what makes the 1995 D Washington quarter so special, what errors to look for, and how you might just have a retirement plan jingling around in your glove box. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's get into it. Alright, before we get to the million-dollar stuff, let's set the stage. The 1995 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver. That's what the little D mint mark stands for, just to be clear. The US Mint cranked out a whole bunch of these bad boys, over 1.1 billion with a B. So you might be thinking, hold on, how can something so common be worth $1 million? It's not just any 1995 D quarter that's worth the big bucks. Nope. It's a very specific kind, a rare variety with a combination of minting errors and pristine condition. These aren't your average quarters that have been living in a cup holder since the Clinton years. We're talking about coins that are in near-perfect shape, what collectors call MS-68 or better. Let me nerd out for a second here. MS stands for mint state, and it goes from 60 to 70. MS-70 means perfect. Like, flawless. Like the kind of coin that's never touched human hands and probably sleeps in a satin-lined box. An MS-68 is still incredibly rare and valuable, especially if it comes with a little extra spice, like a doubling error. Imagine George Washington's face, but slightly duplicated. It's like he's had one too many cups of Revolutionary War coffee and things are starting to get fuzzy. That doubling can happen on the lettering, numbers, or even George's fine colonial hairdo. Add to that the fact that some of these coins have what's called a full strike, where every detail is sharp and crisp, and suddenly you've got a collector's dream. A buddy of mine, Dave, good guy, always wears socks with sandals. You get the picture. He's been a casual coin collector for years. Mostly just for fun, not too serious. One day, he was cleaning out his junk drawer. You know the one. Full of pens that don't work, paper clips from the 90s, and a stack of old change. He starts flipping through the quarters, and bam. He finds a 1995 D Washington quarter that looked different. Cleaner. Sharper. He throws it under one of those magnifying glasses with the little light built in. Yeah, he's that kind of guy, and sees a tiny doubling on the Liberty. Sends it off to be graded and authenticated, sold it at auction for just over $1.2 million. The man bought himself a new truck and took his wife to Italy. He says he still checks every quarter he gets back from the gas station. Says it's his new hobby. Meanwhile, I'm still trying to find 2 matching socks in the morning. Now let's talk value for a second. Most 1995 D quarters are worth, well, 25 cents. But a gem-quality coin with errors? That's where the magic happens. Auction houses have recorded several 1995 D quarters in MS-68 going for 6 figures, and one pristine specimen even hit that $1 million mark. We're talking mint state. If your quarter looks like it lost a bar fight with a vending machine, probably not a winner. Check the word Liberty, the date, 1995, and the motto, In God We Trust. Any signs of doubling? That's a good sign. Look for clean, full reading, those little ridges around the edge. Sharpness matters. Send it to a professional grader if you think you have something special. PCGS or NGC are your best bets. Even if your 1995 D quarter isn't worth $1 million, if it's in good condition, it might still fetch a few hundred or a couple thousand. Which isn't bad for a coin you found while digging for Taco Bell money, and hey, if you're feeling the coin collecting bug now, welcome to the club. It's fun, it's kind of addicting, and who knows, your next million could be rattling around in your pocket right now. First, never underestimate the power of pocket change. Second, always check your coins. Seriously, it takes 2 seconds. And third, that 1995 D Washington quarter you've been ignoring could be the key to your next big adventure. Italy, new truck, or hey, even just paying off your credit card, one coin can change everything. If you laughed, learned something new, or you're currently side-eyeing your coin jar with suspicion, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell so you don't miss the next video, because we're just getting started. I've got more stories, more coins, and more laughs coming your way. Let's find those hidden treasures together. You've got coins worth money, you just don't know it yet. Hey there, coin hunters and treasure seekers. Let me ask you something real quick. What if I told you there's a tiny little piece of metal in your change jar right now, maybe stuck behind your couch cushions, maybe rattling around in your car's cup holder, that could be worth over $1.3 million? Yeah. You heard me right. 1.3 million. With an M. And no, I'm not talking about gold coins from a pirate ship or something Indiana Jones would go after. I'm talking about a plain old South Dakota state quarter. Specifically, the 2006 P Mint Mark version. You're probably thinking, no way, those things are everywhere. And you'd be right, most of them are. But there's a secret hidden among those average-looking coins. And today, we're diving into why one of them is worth a fortune and how you might just have one without even knowing it. So buckle up, grab your coin jar, and let's find out if you're sitting on $1 million payday. Let's go. Okay, so let's break this down. Back in 2006, the US Mint was deep into its 50-state quarters program. If you were around back then, you probably remember every state getting its own quarter, complete with a unique design on the back. Pretty neat, actually. It features Mount Rushmore, a ring-necked pheasant in full flight, and some wheat stalks. Very Midwest. Very majestic. Now, the P Mint mark means this quarter was minted in Philadelphia. Millions of these were made, over 245 million, actually. So why the heck would one of them be worth $1.30 million? Among all those regular 2006 P South Dakota quarters, a few special ones were struck with a very rare error. Some experts believe it's a double die obverse, while others argue it's a rare misalignment combined with a die crack. The coin looks a little funky. You might notice doubling in the lettering or a weird outline around Washington's face. Or maybe the design on the reverse is just slightly off-center or misshapen, but these aren't your average beat-up coins. These are minty, crisp, pristine examples of an error that almost never happens. And when collectors see a combo like that, scarcity, quality, and a good backstory, guess what? They open their wallets. Why? In early 2025, one of these babies sold in a private auction for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Yes, for a quarter. That's like flipping a grilled cheese sandwich and finding a gold bar inside. Now let me share a little story. A couple years ago, I was at my buddy Gary's house, you know, the kind of guy who keeps a gallon of coins in old pickle jars. We were watching the game, and during halftime, he dumps this jar out to sort through his quarters like he's mining for diamonds. I asked him what he was doing and he says, looking for treasure. I laughed and told him to get a metal detector and a beach chair like the rest of the retired guys. But Gary was serious. He pulled out a magnifying glass, started flipping quarters, and lo and behold, he finds a 2006 South Dakota quarter with some weird doubling in the date and a funky outline around the eagle's wing. Long story short, he sends it in to get graded and authenticated. A few weeks later, the coin comes back at MS68 with a verified error. Boom. Value estimated at over $900,000 at the time. He hasn't sold it yet. But let's just say Gary isn't worried about gas prices anymore. How to tell if you've got the golden goose alright? So how do you know if your South Dakota quarter is the rare one? Look at the words, United States of America, and Liberty. Any shadows or doubled lines? That's a red flag, in a good way. Sometimes the outline of his profile will have a ghosted look. The pheasant and the wheat should be clean, but on the rare ones, the reverse might be slightly off-center or show die cracks near the rim. If the coin looks like it got run over by a lawnmower, sorry pal. But if it's shiny, crisp, and clean, you might be sitting on gold. If you spot anything funky, send it off to a reputable grading service. That's how you get serious buyers and serious value. Well, if you're like me, you've probably spent years tossing quarters into machines, parking meters, soda machines, whatever. And never once did you think, hey, this could be worth $1 million. But that's the fun part. You don't need to be some rare coin scholar or have a vault full of antiques. Sometimes, treasure is hiding right in plain sight. Coin collecting isn't just about dusty old pennies and confusing terminology. It's about the thrill of the hunt. It's about discovering something valuable where no one else thought to look. The small stuff you overlook? That's often where the magic is. That humble little 2006 South Dakota quarter could be your ticket to early retirement, a new truck, a dream vacation, or maybe just the wildest story you'll ever tell. Start checking your change. Look through that jar. Dig in your car console. Shake out the couch cushions. Who knows, you might find yourself holding $1 million coin and not even realize it yet. And hey, if you like this video and want more coin collecting tips, tricks, and real-life treasure stories, smash that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring that bell so you never miss a beat that I'm diving into all the rare coins that could be hiding in your house right now. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.